All right, and welcome to Video Guys Live. You give us 15 to 30 minutes. We're going to tell you about products and technology and stuff that's going on in our industry. But today's show is a little bit different. Today's show is dedicated to a really cool charitable foundation that we work with called illuminAid. Now, we're bringing on the founder of illuminAid a little bit later, Matt York, and he's going to tell us all about illuminAid and what it does and why this is important. But before we got into the actual charity, I wanted to talk about, what this is really all about. And that is something, we're calling this something that I look at like what I'm becoming as I get older in my life, and that is a philanthropreneur. And what is that? That's somebody who uses my entrepreneurial skills to try to help charities maximize the effects of what they're trying to do. So what I'm hoping to do by doing this with illuminAid and with some other charities like the For a Bright Future is I'm trying to help them get the most out of what they're doing by bringing in some of the expertise and knowledge that I have. In this case, it's our ability to do live streaming and live shows and live production. And that's why we're gonna bring Matt in to talk about his charity, what it's doing, and kick off a really cool fundraiser. So I just wanted to let people know what all that was about, because I think it's a little, today's show is not our ordinary show for Video Guys. So I wanted to make sure we knew about that. Now, I want to give up some of the names that you're going to see up here and who they are. illuminAid, that's the charity itself, and what they do is they bring content and technology to remote areas of the world in order to have them use education to learn to better their lives through things like hygiene, fresh water, clean, safe living, things like that. Video Guys, that's us. Broadfield Cares is a charity associated with Broadfield Distributing, a distributor, and Video Maker is the magazine that Matt York founded so many years ago. So if we could, let's start a little bit early. Let's bring on Matt York to talk about illuminAid and our years together and what we're doing with this whole thing. So, hey, Matt, how are you?
Good, Gary. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
I am doing great. Now, I think it's important to start the show by talking about how far we go back. We have been associated with Matt and Video Maker since their very first issue, which was back in what year? 94, 95, 96?
Gary, I think we're getting old, so I think it was 1986.
It's been a long, long time, and it's great. We love having the relationship with you throughout the years. We've seen your family grow up, and that you're now a grandpa. My dad was in the business, so you've seen me and my children as the grandchildren. So we go way, way back. And what I really wanted to tell our audience about is this is a special show because this is a real special thing that Matt's doing. And while he's the founder and executive director of illuminAid and Video Maker, this is really what Matt's doing is like Matt York 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever you want to call it. Now, the thing that's fascinated me the most about this charity is some people get involved in charities and they raise money for things. Matt's not a money raiser, he's a doer. And he's been traveling all over the world teaching people about illuminAid. So why don't you go into what the mission is, Matt, for a little bit of illuminAid?
And so illuminAid's mission is to help educate the world's poorest billion people through low-cost video technology. So, we are blessed with access to the internet and access to lots of knowledge, but in these places that you see on the map there, they lack fundamental understanding about hygiene or contemporary agricultural practices or the respectful treatment of women. There's many, many things that they lack access to, these basic chunks of knowledge. So we work with NGO partners, that's non-government organization partners, like Save the Children, Mercy Corps, World Vision, UNICEF. We help them to make short videos that are delivered to the beneficiaries, ultimately to the poor people, through cordless video projectors. Little devices that are kind of like cordless drills, but they're projectors, pico projectors, and they can display video on a wall of a community center, a health center, an agricultural warehouse. They can have a window to the world, even though they're disconnected from the internet and from the electrical power grid.
Yeah, we're talking about remote areas of the world that running water, they don't have fresh water, they don't have electricity, they don't have internet. This is really areas that are the poorest and the poorest, the remote of the remote, where health issues of just, reaching your 20s is an achievement sometimes because, life is so hard and difficult in these areas. And I think what's so important about what you're doing is the doing part, Matt. You've been to all these countries to bring this map up. This is not tourist spots that people want to visit. This is some areas where, you know, you're getting off a plane and you're getting on a car, and maybe you're a car or a bus for maybe 30 minutes, maybe several hours into a remote jungle or a remote area, savannah, what have you. And I just admire the fact that, you know, you're actually doing this, of the traveling, but the traveling is just the way to deliver the message. It's the education that you're doing. This is really an education organization, but you're using technology, which you and I know so well, to do it. So talk about your values a little bit.
Yes, so that's great to see them up on the screen there. Each person deserves an opportunity to improve their life through education. It's not for the elite. It's not for the developed world. It's for the entire world. Each person should be able to learn within a community, regardless of language, literacy, or location. So the great thing about video is that you don't need to be literate. You don't need to know how to read. And with these cordless projectors, you don't need to be in a location with access to wall power or access to the electricity grid, or the internet. And we also do deliver this workshop. It's a 4-day workshop in Portuguese, French, Spanish, or English. We are empowering our partners to teach people how to make video. Again, a value is that each person should receive highly relevant instruction from the best teachers in their community. That could be their local community. It could be their county equivalent of their county or state. Sometimes there's a lack of expertise even at the county level. So in an adjacent county or at the country capital. And each person should benefit from efficient and effective instruction through video technology. So those are our basic values.
So that's what you're doing, but then there's a whole lot of steps, which is how you actually do it. So you're doing it through basically 3 key, what I'm calling the tenets, the foundation you're built on, which is training, equipping, and empowering people in these third world countries to become independent once they learn what you've taught them. And then they can then become the teachers who can teach the fellow people in their communities and their surrounding communities what they learned from you. So let's talk about each of those key tenets: training, equipping, and empowering.
Yeah, so we do a 4-day workshop that its genesis was modeled after something that we did at VideoMaker for many years. We're not doing those currently, but we took that curriculum and dramatically simplified it. So we do like a lecture about script writing or a lecture on audio or shooting, and then a small group activity with 7 participants matched up with a local video trainer. We always hire locals that we find through videomaker.com or LinkedIn, local video experts, to help us with the training. Sometimes they deliver the lectures if it's in a language other than English. I'm limited to English only speaking. When we conduct these workshops, we actually deliver the equipment. So I travel with suitcases full of equipment. It's packaged in products like this. This is a recharge kit, which we'll unpack later. So we have these kits that go in luggage. And I think the most amount of luggage I've ever taken was like 10 full-size pieces of luggage.
Wow.
Into the West African country of Guinea during the Ebola crisis. And you can imagine, you know, they have the equivalent of the customs officials x-raying the equipment or x-raying the luggage and thinking, oh, there must be something in there that we want to learn more about. So sometimes I'm delayed at customs. Sometimes I'm encouraged to give a little lubrication or a bribe. Sometimes actually you have to pay customs fees. Often I just kind of waltz past the x-ray machine as if I own the place. And, you know, 70% of the time it works. And ultimately,
let's talk about the
we
most
empower
important part, the
our
empowering.
community members. We give them the power to be autonomous. We support them for about a year on the internet through Zoom or Microsoft Teams to encourage them, and the local video trainers are with them for about a year, but ultimately they're empowered to be independent of us.
Very, very cool. So we're doing this today because our goal is to raise some donations. So right now I want to go into it and let people know that we have a link that they can go to, illuminAid.org/2022 Solar USB Product Fundraiser. And if they go there, they can raise some money. But we're also going to give a little incentive to people if they would make some donations today. So we've got a couple of things. Number one is, the first thing we've got is, if you donate $50, you get this little USB torch light. Now, this is a cool little thing that I really like, you know, we use it here. We plug it into a USB laptop or USB port, and it's amazing the amount of light you can get from something like this. So it's also good for something like if you have a blackout or a power failure in an area that you're in, you just want to get a little extra light while you're working at night on that. And then if you donate $200, we're actually going to give you the solar kit that Matt provides for his third world countries in order to power the equipment that he gives. Now, why would you want that? Maybe you're into camping or outdoor life. Maybe you're in an area that sometimes gets disrupted by hurricanes or blizzards, or maybe you're just someone who wants to have that solar ability to back up and make sure your phone's always powered up no matter where you are, what goes on, something you can throw in the car or the RV or keeping, you know, your office at home. So Matt, I think you've got one of those kits there. If you could open, we're going to take you full speed, full page, full screen. You can open that kit up and we'll take a look at the contents.
Yes, and I want to also acknowledge Gary for identifying that solar light, which was not necessarily made for the purpose of for video, but Gary said, you know, that actually can make a really nice light for video. So it comes with 2 solar panels.
Cool.
So this is 12 volts. It's kind of like plugging something into your car, and we also have this voltage adapter. So if you need 18 volts, like the projectors we use need 18 volts, it's a voltage booster. If you need just 12 volts, it works just fine. We also, like everybody else, we also, you know, want to plug into USB into a car cigarette lighter. It's a very simple thing. We all have these anyway. But this is a neat thing. It plugs in here, and now we can go on to the terminals of a motor scooter, or which is really often we see motor scooters even in the most remote places in the world. Maybe not cars, but motor scooters. So that's the components of the kit: solar, a dashboard of a car, or the terminals, battery terminals from a motor scooter.
Very cool. Now, what I have up here is the actual landing page. If you go to the website, the illuminAid website, solar-usb-product.fundraiser, it tells you a little bit about the application, what we're here, and what the goal of the organization is. And then we've got the most important thing, where you can give, the choose your amount to donate. We encourage you to donate $50 to get the free torchlight, or $200 to get the power kit. And you know what, Matt? I think if someone gives $250, we'll give them both. How does that sound? There's a little added bonus. Didn't even think of that. And then, you know, here's pictures of what those units are again, and then a little bit about the fundraiser that we're doing together with Matt and all that. Now, Matt, one of the things that's interesting about this is me and you decided, hey, you know, this would be a cool thing, because why did we get Video Guys and Video Maker involved in this? And I think it was because both you and I have a passion for education and a passion for video, and that's really where your charities kind of meeting together. But we felt there was probably so many videographers and video makers and live streamers who know Video Guys, who know Video Maker, who would like to maybe give a little back and help some people in a part of the world that really needs a whole lot of help. So we thought it would be a great idea to put the power of both our corporate lives together with our philanthropy lives and try to see if we could leverage them and have it be a little bit bigger. So Matt, give us one last, you know, go-to pitch on why people should give to illuminAid and what this is all about. And let's see if we can encourage some people to throw some dollars our way.
Yeah, so Gary, you and I are leaders today. You know, we're leading companies, and we lead the instruction of people trying to learn more about video. But all of us collectively, everybody who's watching this or will watch it at a later date, all of us have been blessed by video. Video technology has really increased the quality of our life, both as consumers as we watch video on YouTube or television, but most of us are making video, right? So we're either earning income from making video, or we are enhancing our day job for our employer by making video. So our knowledge of video is really an incredible blessing, and we have capabilities, and we have accelerated income, and we're building personal wealth because of video technology. So to take that wisdom and that blessing and to carry it to the poorest places in the world is an incredible opportunity. So I'm doing it physically, and everybody out there, you're the wind beneath our wings, and we get there by your support. So we all like to kind of give back along the same lines that you know, turn our crank and make us satisfied. So your support, you know that it's a very efficient organization. not only am I not paid, I'm the biggest donor in the organization. So I'm hand delivering this equipment to the most remote places in the world. When I was in Togo 6 weeks ago, after getting out of the airplane, we traveled for 12 hours by car to get to a remote school where these kids had like nothing. You know, they had a little hand washing station. Every kid had to wash their hand, 4 times a day. It took 20 minutes to get through the line to get up to the hand washing station. So again, we've been immensely blessed, and we're going to the most difficult places in the world thinking, how could video make a difference? How can people avoid getting sick? How can they increase a crop yield? How can we encourage girls to be in more control of their mothering destiny, which they are all likely to do? So we empower people to make a better living. We empower people to make better decisions, and all through video, which we don't think about so much in our daily lives here in the U.S., but we do go to these most incredibly needy places around the world. And we really would love your support and recognize you for that.
Matt, that was awesome. 2023, we have the summer and fall coming up. Where's the next place in the world we're going to find Matt on the map of the world? Where's the next place you're going through illuminAid?
So we've been operating in Ethiopia for many years. I've been there 2 or 3 times. We're about to send 300 projectors there actually to the Ministry of Health there. So we have a project that's percolating there. Just this morning, we looks like we have a very strong prospect with USAID, that's our federal government dollars, United States Agency for International Development, working in Honduras, helping to diversify the local crops where people are going to grow more productive, more profitable crops. So those are the 2 most likely places, Ethiopia or Honduras.
Cool. Matt, thank you so much. Hopefully people will give to the charity. The lower third's going to come up again with where they should give that money to donate to. Please go to the website and donate. Once again, $50 get the free torchlight, $200 get the free solar kit. Give any amount you want, even if it's $1, it's appreciated. But Matt, thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. I'm proud to be a part of it. I really hope we can have success with this joint marketing venture for a charity, something I think is kind of new to our industry, but hopefully this will be the first of many times we get together to try to find some ways to help spread the word and spread the love and spread the empowerment that you're giving to people who really don't have a whole lot to begin with. So it's wonderful what you're doing. I thank you so much for being on the show. I thank everyone who's watching. Please give to illuminAid. Help us reach our mission. Help us reach our goal. Help us educate and empower young people and old people across the globe who really have very, very little. We're talking about not running water, no electricity, no internet. These are folks who can use all the help they can get, and by teaching them how better to take care of themselves and their communities, they can thrive and they can survive and they can grow, and maybe someday they'll have roads and power and all those other things that we take for granted here in America. So Matt, thank you so much for being on the show. And with that, I'm going to say next week we'll be back with a show with our regular topics of video technology, video products, promotions, and things like that. But we thank you for everyone who tuned in. This show was live today. Of course, it'll be on the internet. And Matt, we by all means will multi-purpose any parts of this show in order to create segments for social media, whatever we can do to help raise awareness and raise money for illuminAid for everyone. Peace and love. Give money, help illuminAid. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Thanks for your service on the board, Gary. Take care.
You got it. Bye.
Video Guys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.